Welcome to Forgotten Video Store, the podcast where we go to the rental store of the same name in North Hollywood and pick out one of their unique movies that you can't find anywhere else on the planet. I'm your host, David Murto, aka Daddy Big Cup. And my guest this time is a projectionist with the American Cinemateque, which is my favorite screening series here in Los Angeles. And he's one of our favorite guests. Sam Rodriguez is back. Sam, thanks for going to the video store with me again. Something bothering you?
All right, yeah. I'll just be honest up front because I don't want to just dance around this.
What is it?
I did not, and I'm surprised you're surprised and asking me about it. I did not have a good time at this video store this time. I'm tired of the Forgotten Video Store. The store.
I mean, I thought today was a pretty typical visit. But
Yeah. Typical is bad. This is not a normal video store, David. If we're gonna keep going, we have to take some precautions. I have to take some precautions. Because just look at my leg. Look at, I mean...
The paramedics were quick to get there.
The paramedics were quick, but why are there so many feral cats around this video store?
To take care of the rodent problem. Would you rather have rodents?
Like, if it were just a kitten cafe or like a bookstore with like a bookstore cat, that's fine. But these cats were all either in heat or had kittens around.
You can't have docile cats take care of a rodent problem. The rodents are, you want the nice little cats? No.
All right.
It takes a tough cat to beat those
Fair enough.
rodents into
True,
submission.
true though that may be, my leg is cut to bits.
Rats love eating VHS tapes. Everyone knows this. These small price to pay. I'm willing to sacrifice your leg to rent some tapes.
My bottom line is this, David. If these wounds start stinking, we got to cut and I got to go to urgent care.
You could have cat scratch fever.
I could have cat scratch fever.
What are the signs that I should be looking for of cat scratch fever?
Well, if I start, putting together like a litter box and using it.
Oh, this is like a cat version of lycanthropy. It's like you turn into a cat.
Yeah, of course. It's science.
Okay, well, I'll be on the lookout. I can't stay mad at you. I'm sorry you went through that, but and thanks for going to the store and picking out a movie with me. Sam, I have a new segment in the show.
Oh.
It's a hard-hitting interview section of the podcast. Are you ready?
Let's do it.
Welcome to the interrogation chamber.
Oh, shit.
Do you do double-sided tape or little loops with single-sided tape?
Double-sided tape seems like one of those things that's just it's unobtainable. Who in this world has double-sided tape? I don't have time for double-sided tape. I'm not so special to get double-sided tape. I'm doing loops. I'm doing loops.
Loops. Where are you on recessed lighting?
I love lighting and I love recess.
And that was the interrogation chamber. Thanks,
Holy
Sam.
shit.
You did great.
Thank you.
So you picked out a movie today called Rude City.
Rude City.
From 1975. But it takes place in the far-off future of 1996.
I was there in the future of 96. But not this future.
I see it. You're right. It's a speculative fiction, right?
Speculative fiction.
Stars an actor named McLean Stevenson.
From MASH.
He's one of the guys who wasn't Alan Alda, right?
Right. He's not Alan Alda. He's not Radar. He was like a big deal in the cast of MASH. All of them were. And he left a few seasons in when the show was real big, when he was real big.
Now they say never quit a hit show. What is this guy doing? What was his thinking?
Well, he was a hot commodity. He just thought that there could be something else. But he was sort of one of the classic tales of what not to do with your career.
Sure, yeah.
Because he just went to a lot of sitcoms that didn't last. You'd find him on a lot of game shows.
He didn't want to be second banana to Alan Alda.
Right.
He's like, I want to be the star.
There was also a chance that he might have taken over the Tonight Show if Johnny Carson retired.
Oh, really?
Yeah, in the 70s or 80s, but it never happened. But he was sort of like ready and waiting, and it just fizzled.
Yeah, don't count your chickens before they hatch. It reminds me of like Lady Sybil from Downton Abbey. She's like, I'm going to be a big star, kill off my character, and haven't seen her since.
Nope, it's a bad move. Let's get into the premise of the movie. So this is very much in the mold of 70s dystopic social issues, science fiction.
Yeah.
We sort of get
using the future as a mirror for the present, right?
Yeah, exactly. So we sort of get some preamble text about how it's the year 1996 and New York City is the rudest city in human civilization. We sort of don't have much to go on at first.
Right, yeah. It's like, well, that sounds accurate.
How does that manifest? What does that mean?
Right, what does that mean? And we find out pretty quickly. We meet our main character, played by McLean Stevenson. Now, he's a male meter maid.
Do we have to clarify that he's a male meter maid because the profession is called a maid?
Right. What's the male version of a maid?
A male butler.
Butler.
Yeah, he's a meter butler.
Meter butler. Yeah, so he's doing that, and and there's cars parked all willy-nilly, not even in a parking spot. And so he's like, I gotta give them a ticket, right?
Everybody's just sort of parked wherever.
Stop in the middle of the road, abandoned their car.
There's no regard for where they should be or should not be. Just the whole street, all the sidewalks are a parking lot.
Covered in cars. And there are some people in cars, and they're just honking like, "Arr!"
Yeah, it's kind of a gridlock nightmare. The whole major intersections are just
Which rang
swarmed
true
with
to me.
people.
Do you spend any time in New York?
I've never been.
You've never been?
I have never been.
I had a job in Manhattan. The honking was true to life. It was
Really?
just constant 24 hours a day, just
I am from Chicago, and I do recall, like, when you get into the city, like, as soon as the lights turn green, somebody's honking at you. As soon as the light turns green.
They call that
honk.
a New York second is the smallest measure of time that can actually be measured. And that's the period of time between when a light turns green and the honking starts. In LA, we have a lot of crazy drivers.
Yes.
But in New York, you would truly have to be insane to want to drive in New York. So it's a self-selection thing. Every single person driving in New York is insane.
Right.
So McLean's given our male meter butler.
Meter butler. I keep wanting to call him a male butler, but that's redundant. He's a meter butler. Okay.
He starts giving some tickets, and of course, some big New York tough guys come out, and it's like, "Oh, that's my car! What are you doing? Give me a ticket! Why don't you tug on my genitals?" I'm like, "Oh, that is rude."
So this is a good early example. It's rude, but it's definitely like a rude within the rating system rude.
Sure, yeah. They're skirting some of the language that would push you into an R rating.
But here's the thing. I mean, we'll get to it. This is an R-rated movie, but not.
Oh, I didn't even.
But not because of the language, but because of the violence.
Oh, interesting.
It somehow goes to the hilt in violence, but pulls all language punches.
Kind of like,
I don't
did you ever see that movie Sin City where it was like remember it was like the MySpace like selective color trend where it's like everything's black and white except for like a little splash of red.
Yeah.
It was like the whole movie was like, did you see this movie Sin City?
Yeah.
It was like that. It was extreme violence, but like no one ever says the F word or anything. It's like,
that's interesting. I didn't think too hard about that movie not having the language thing go on.
But anyway, like maybe they were taking a page from Rude City. Hey, Sin City, Rude City.
Honestly, I can see some parallels here. I mean, we're talking about this movie because this is not a well-known movie, but somebody had to have seen it.
Maybe Robo Rodriguez himself. Hey, are you related to him?
If it affords me money or fame, yes.
Oh, cool.
So we see McLean, and he's getting into it with a guy that he's going to give a ticket to, and like McLean is ready. He's not packing a gun, but he's packing a giant crowbar. He's ready to bash some heads. Yeah,
it's cool as hell. And he's like, we kind of get the sense he's not the rudest man.
No. He's doing a job. He knows how to handle himself amongst the rest.
You have to have a certain amount of toughness to make it in the city.
Right.
And so he's not what I'd call a polite man, but he's definitely not like at the level of some of these people.
No. The movie takes some pains to show that he's a bit nicer than some. I think like he gives a guy like who asks him for a light, he gives him a light.
Yeah, that's like the Save the Cat moment. Remember from that book, Save the Cat?
Save the cat.
You're supposed to show your hero do something nice to someone in the first couple minutes, so the audience is like, duh, he's good.
So I was very satisfied to see that because I thought he was bad, but then he gave the man a light. I thought he was good.
Yeah, and I like the part where he's done with his shift for the day. He's going home, swings by the bodega, and he's like, could use a 40 ounce, right? Picks out a 40 ounce. There's like a bunch of people in line, and the guy in front of him has like a ton of stuff and is like, oh, you just have that one thing. Would you like to go ahead of me? And McLean's like, oh, I would actually. And the guy's like, too bad. Like, that's a pretty good bit.
Yeah. That was too polite for this rude world. Of course, it's Rude City.
If they're polite, they're just setting you up to knock you down.
Right. And we get some real confirmation of what kind of world we're dealing with after he leaves the bodega and he gets down into the subway. And it's a pretty crowded platform.
People are not waiting their turn.
No. People are knocking elbows. There's, rude comments being shouted around. And
there's a guy busking with his guitar and playing a little song, and everyone's like, "You suck!"
Oh, yeah, people are throwing trash at him.
And he does suck, to be fair.
Yeah. No. I wouldn't want to listen to it. Everybody's smoking, blowing smoke in each other's faces. It's all hazy down there. It's really gross. And then here comes the train. And once the lights come through, like, everybody starts like storming
jostling,
to get to the front of the platform. This is where it sort of starts to feel a little bit like Soylent Green, where it's like there's a lot of people, and suddenly like a woman or two is knocked down into the tracks. She's like trying to get up, and quick cutting between the train and her, and everybody moving, and the train and her. And then, bam, she just gets
splattered.
Completely splattered by the train. You get that shot of a group of kids. They're like pushing each other around, like teasing each other. They get a little blood sprayed, and they stop and look. And then they go back to what they were doing. Nobody cares.
Like her head goes flying by, and then like one guy sees her head coming and like does a real cool soccer dribble move where he kicks it up and kicks it straight into a trash can.
You think that was like a professional soccer player?
Yeah, I don't know enough about soccer.
Because he had like the knee bumps. Like he's really good at like bumping with his knees like they do in the soccer.
Yeah, it could have been like a cameo.
Yeah, like a Pele or something.
Yeah,
I don't know what Pele looks like.
Could have been. Maybe it was Pele. But anyway, like this is crossing a line. It's like shoving someone down to their death is like kind of crossing the line between rude and evil.
Right. Yeah, this is not just strictly rude. That woman was murdered, but that's the point. There's no consideration for how rude is too rude anymore.
But then like on his drive home, he's hanging on to one of the little loop things that's on top.
Yeah, he's standing on the train.
Right. And you see like in the seat, there's like an elderly man, and then a pregnant woman comes up and like throws him out of the seat and sits down. And then like a little boy goes and throws her out of the seat. And then like a fit man goes up and throws the little boy out of the seat and sits down. And it's like, oh, there's no etiquette at all on this train.
No etiquette. That's when you really see, or you hear first, how many people are coughing. And like everybody's smoking, but you get a good look at everybody, and a lot of people are pale. They're like sweating. These people, there are many sick people riding this train.
Everyone. And no one's covering that. No one's doing the Dracula style sneeze into your elbow. Everyone's just sneezing in each other. Looks like they're doing it on purpose, actually, like sneezing into each other's faces.
It's a particular kind of disgusting.
What really I didn't like was, the metal pole that the kids were hanging on, and like you do a close up and it's kind of got the grime and goo on it. And the kid like is holding it, then takes his hand, smears it like he's wiping away snot and stuff. Now it's all over his mouth and nose.
A whole friggin' snot ball, and then just grabs the pole again.
Little yucky.
That's when we hear from the mayor for the first time.
Yeah.
Coming through they've got vid screens.
Right, it's like a 1984 kind of thing. Like,
yeah. Now a message from the mayor. And I love the casting on the mayor.
What was her name?
Doris Roberts.
Doris Roberts, yes, from Everybody Loves Raymond and Grandma's Boy. She's like younger. She's like 50 years old in this. She's not like an ancient woman.
But still, has that kind of matronly aspect to her. I wonder how long she had that in her life. It always seems like that kind of woman, I guess.
At least when she like started getting big roles, she was
Sure. First of all, I mean, she herself comes off as a real sterling New Yorker. It's kind of cool and surprising she's a lady. I mean, this was before there was even any lady mayors in the big cities.
Right. That was one of the like speculative elements. It's like, can you imagine a crazy world where a woman's the mayor?
Okay, let's get into that. Is this movie progressive?
No, because I think they were doing it as like a dystopian thing, like in a world gone wrong, a lady's the mayor. So I think it was actually quite sexist.
I want to really love that they had a lady mayor, but yeah, I think the intention was, hey guys, wouldn't this be bad?
It's true. She seems to be doing a bad job.
She is very bad, but like... Hey,
as a Los Angelino, do you know anything about having a terrible woman mayor?
I don't have that as a frame of reference. I'm sorry.
Interesting. So Doris Roberts is on the screen to make an announcement about like, I heard you. You're all sick and you're not going to get better until the vaccine's... Well, the vaccine's going to be here soon. All right, you can stop nagging me about it. This has been a message from the mayor of New York.
So she wants everybody to know that, like, she's on it. Everybody's going to be fine. But it really doesn't seem like whatever's going on is going to be so easily fixed by this surly mayor or anyone else.
So McLean Stevenson gets back to his place, and it's like, like a closet-sized, tiny apartment. And like it has like basically, those ironing boards that come out of the wall and stuff. It's like that big. So I guess it's a Murphy bed, but like he sleeps on it, but it's like as big as an ironing board. It's very kind of sad.
Like a cot.
So he pulls that down and he's like drinks his 40 and there's gotta be a better world out there somewhere. Kind of cool. He's like looking out at the night. You can't see any stars. There's too much like pollution and light pollution and everything. But
right, but he puts on like an old record, like some Irving Berlin or something. And just is like chilling out. And doing one of those things that was common of the era of imagining a life outside of urban squalor.
Yeah.
And we sort of see into his mind. We get sort of an imagination sequence of like a flower field.
Yeah.
And a beautiful day.
And people like smiling at him. And
smiling and waving.
Yeah. But then like the fantasy's interrupted because the people next to him are like blasting loud music and the dog's barking and they're screaming at each other. And it's like, oh, these people have no respect for their
and somebody's
neighbors.
Graffiti tagging his one window right outside.
That was funny. McLean just seems kind of lost. He feels like he doesn't fit in. He's looking for answers.
We learned that he is at least somewhat religious. He goes to that one beautiful church. You knew it. What was the name of
Riverside Cathedral.
Riverside Cathedral.
Beautiful.
Perhaps this will be a
respite.
A respite from all the rudeness. But this church is packed to the gills. It's in the middle of the mass or the service, and everybody's just talking over each other, pushing each other out of seats. The priest is up there giving a ridiculous sermon.
Right. He's like going nuts about the time Jesus went into the temple and like overturned all the money changers.
Yeah, he's getting
and like
very
took the whip out, and he's embellishing a bit. Like I don't remember hearing about Jesus like taking a whip and like whipping these. Maybe he did, but and like tying them up and like putting scorpions on their eyes and stuff. I'm like, it doesn't ring a bell. But this guy's a priest. He probably knows better than I do.
And whoever's paying attention to him is like whooping at it.
Yeah, but people are just like talking, climbing over seats. Like at one point they pass around the collection plate. This part's good. It's like got a little bit of money at the start and then they pass it, and then you see the plate at the end of the row and it's no money left. And it's like, oh, everyone's like skimming off the top. There's a part where they go up for communion and the guy like shoots back the wine. It's like, hit me again. And he does. The priest does. He hits him again.
Right.
And, he,
like, and the guy behind him is like, "Hey, save some for the rest of us."
Yeah.
And then he's like, "Why'd you back off?"
Yeah.
And then it just becomes this
shoving
whole
match.
Yeah. The whole altar is just stormed and people are just grabbing communion willy nilly. And McLean's in the back, not taking part in it, just sort of like sighing as he's noticing all the sick people in the seats around him. Anybody who doesn't have the energy to storm the altar is just sort of dying in their seats at the moment.
So at his next shift, we see him like he's like writing a ticket and he gets an argument with someone who's like, you're a real jerk off. This guy's yelling at him and stuff. And finally he's like, you have to pay this ticket. He's like, I'm not paying. That's not even my car. And so this guy was just being rude to him for no reason, basically.
Deciding to give this person a hard time.
Right. So now McLean, our meter butler, is having his day's off to a bad start, like every day, basically.
Right.
But it's like, at least it's time for his lunch break, and he's been looking forward to getting like a hot dog from the streetcar.
So he goes to the hot dog vendor.
And the guy like doesn't ask him what toppings he wants. He just puts on ketchup and mustard. He's like, hey, can I get some relish? And the guy's like, can I get some relish?
Literally just grabs the hot dog, gives him money, when some guy just comes along and yanks the hot dog right out of his hand.
Hey, that's my dog. That's my lunch.
And the guy's just like, forget you.
Yeah.
That gets me. Forget you.
Yeah.
Forget you.
Oh, yeah. And so he starts chasing this guy. And this part I thought was cool. The sidewalks were all like airport
moving
walkways. I thought that was a cool detail. But like they're going way too fast.
Yeah.
And so people are just like falling all over each other every time they try to. You can't get on one without tripping, basically.
Right. It's a shit show.
But there's a cool little chase scene where he's trying to get his hot dog.
And this person's going super fast because he's running on the moving walkway.
Basically, he almost gets him, and then like the guy like dives into traffic, and there's a taxi, and he throws open the door, and there's a older woman in the taxi already, and he's like tosses her out, and he jumps in, and the taxi starts to speed away, and McLean's like, my hot dog, and the guy like leans real far out the window, he's like, how about you eat this hot dog, and like grabs him. It's real crude. So basically McLean's whole day is ruined. He didn't even get a lunch.
He's got this energy in him where he's got no more patience anymore.
Right. We get a taste of how rude McLean's going to be, because the next ticket we see him write in, he does a close-up. And what's he write on there?
Pay it, dirtbag.
That's right. Oh, man. Now he's the rude one. He starts putting it under the wiper on this car. And you're, no. I'm here. I'm gonna move the car. He's like, too bad, y'all. And you think he's going to say the meanest thing possible, but he turns and he sees a beautiful woman played by
none other than Jessica Lange.
And in her arms, a little 5-year-old boy.
Who is incredibly sick.
Right.
Obviously very sick.
Most pathetic little coughs. And she's like, I just had to take my son in to the hospital.
It took so long. Everybody kept cutting in front of us.
They said they were going to have the treatment, and they still don't have the treatment. And you can see the tears welling up in her eyes. It's like, this is interesting. This is the first non-rude person we've seen.
Yeah, basically. She's not rude. She's genuinely sympathetic. You know she's not lying because she has her kid with her.
A sick kid.
And also, can we say how great Jessica Lange is?
She's the best.
She's fantastic. I mean, this is her at the start of her career.
Right.
She did King Kong the following year. Mm-hmm. Also New York. Mm-hmm. She really, I mean, she's the star of this movie as far as I'm concerned. Mm-hmm. Such a great actor. And McLean Stevenson is fine.
Right.
But, you sort of see why.
She took off and he didn't.
Exactly.
But McLean has like that moment where he went into this thinking he's going to be the toughest New Yorker of all. But then he takes the ticket, rips it in half. And she like, oh, I can't thank you enough. She's holding the kid in one hand, but she goes to embrace him. And you see him kind of like tense up because he's used to people like coming at him.
Right. There's no good reason why somebody would be approaching him.
Right.
Normally.
But she goes and she kind of grabs him around the shoulder. Thank you so much. You're a blessing today. And that really touches him.
Like, when was the last time you ever experienced anything like that in his life?
Then there's a part where, I don't know if it's the next day or something, but you see McLean kind of going about his day. He's like at the laundromat, but the words are like spinning around in his head. Jessica Lange's voice like, oh, it's such a blessing to run into you today or whatever. He goes to check on his load of laundry, and someone else not only has taken his laundry out of the washer and dumped it soaking wet on the floor, but is taking a piss on it. I'm like, oh, that's rude.
It's not just inconsiderate. Dare I say it's rude. So normally, you get the sense that this person would be dead man, certainly in a world of hurt from McLean, but he just happened to pull this shit on a day when maybe there's a change in him.
Right.
Maybe he's not quite the same person he was the other day.
And so he kind of says like, oh, must be some mistake. Those are actually my clothes you're pissing on. But it's okay. We're in a laundromat. I'll just wash them again. And he does. He puts them in the next washing machine.
Literally, this brings the room to a screeching halt.
And the guy who had been pissing on his clothes, it's just kind of shaking. Like, he doesn't know how to deal with this, but he's never been madder.
Yeah.
But it's like, what do you do? Because he just like completely de-escalated the situation.
Would you, in that scenario, would you do as McLean did?
It definitely depends on what the guy looked like.
Fair. If someone's actually doing that, you got to wonder about what their deal is.
Right, yeah. Or like, I'm not a big, strong guy. But you would at least take a harsh tone with them.
Sure. I would not be. What I wouldn't be is like, oh, well, what great luck. I'm in a place where dirty clothes get clean. This is fine. He just kind of goes about his business, and everybody just sort of returns to their business, but like everybody just sort of stops being rude, at least for a moment. Everybody's just like doing their thing.
Maybe this McLean Stevenson can be a force for change.
Maybe the kindness can be as infectious as this disease that's going around.
Ooh. Interesting. But we can see, like, he can't stop thinking about Jessica Lange. He must have an excellent recall for license plates, because he goes down to the headquarters and is like, sneaks into the system, pushes in, it's like, finds out her name and where she lives and stuff. And he goes and he shows up at her place. But he can see she's still caring for the young boy. That's kind of how he coughs.
It's kind of like is that a sneeze or is it a cough?
Yeah, it sounds yucky.
I just ran a blood test. It said he has 48 hours to live.
And the blood test is cool because it's like you put the little drop of blood on the stick and everything, and then like basically a clock comes up and tells you how long you have to live, and it counts down.
She had just put it in the machine.
Yeah.
When McLean busts down the door.
Mm-hmm.
And so over the course of their conversation, it goes through the cycle and then it dings.
Yeah.
She knows as they're talking, oh, here's the results of this blood test. My boy has 48 hours to live.
And then Jessica Lange is basically like to her son, do you think you have enough energy to buy yourself an ice cream? And he's like, an ice cream? Uh-huh. And she gives him $1 and he goes out of the room. And then is the most aggressive sex scene I've witnessed. There's like slapping, spanking, shoving, but they seem to be having a good time.
It is consensual rude sex.
Right, yeah. Yeah, that's just, it's the custom of this town.
Lots of hair pulling.
At some point, they got out the exposition that her husband had been slapped to death, and so she's a single mom. I forget when that came out, but you do learn that at a certain point.
Slapped to death.
Like Will Smith almost did to Chris Rock.
Yes. If that had gone on much longer, that little man would have been dead by way of slapping.
So basically, like, McLean now has a mission, right? And by the time they're done, there's like 47 hours and 38 minutes remaining in this little kid's life.
There's literally a ticking clock.
I love a movie where the ticking clock is a literal ticking clock. Like High Noon.
Yeah, or it's like, we're not even going to be figurative about this. It's as literal a problem as you could have. The problem of time.
So he's like, who would know about this treatment? Well, the mayor keeps telling us. I'm going to see the mayor.
Right. I mean, by all accounts, the cure is just outside the city. It's on its way in any day now.
He goes to the mayor's office at the city hall. He shoves his way back in, and the mayor is yelling at one of her underlings like, does that look like a macchiato to you? And the guy's like, I don't know what a macchiato
It's
is.
1975. How many of us know what a macchiato is in America?
And she goes, what are you, of substandard intellect?
And then
he hurts.
And then he's just like standing there thinking about it. And then she's like, get out of my way, you little shit. And just shoves him. God bless Doris Roberts.
Doris Roberts, rest in peace.
Rest in peace.
Gone too soon.
Crotchety till the end.
You ever meet Doris Roberts?
Yeah, she was a regular customer at the late great ArcLight Hollywood.
That's right. That'll be where I ran into her.
Mm-hmm. You never forget those Doris Roberts encounters.
Do we want to share Doris Roberts anecdotes or?
Sure. Let's do it. Yeah, let's do it.
She came up to me one time. This wasn't rude to me, but she said, you see this? She was leaving her movie and she said, you see that picture of Beginners? This was Mike Mills' movie. Yeah, Beginners. I said, no, I didn't catch that one. She said, worst picture I ever saw. Storms away. And I was like, whew, got out of that one.
Yeah, that was easy.
Yeah.
She was mad at something else that wasn't you.
Yeah.
That's her idea of being friendly and conversational.
Yeah, just insult someone else.
Just a drive-by aggressive condemnation, and she's gone.
One time she was in someone else's seat. And I was like, this is not going to go well.
Oh, no.
But this was fine, too. She was I am so sorry. Like, we have assigned seating here at the ArcLight. And she's just, like the most exaggerated. But she didn't end up moving.
If she has to, she will. But she let you know. She wasn't happy about it. You know, our friend was caught. They were approaching each other in a narrow hallway. And, you know, sometimes when you're doing that with a person, you're each mirroring each other as you try to sidestep past the other person. And so they were doing that. She had enough of that. So she just shoved him off to the side, barged her way past and said, get out of my way, you little shit. Which mirrors closely her line in this movie.
Right, yeah. So well cast.
Well cast
as the mayor of Rude City. We love Doris Roberts. Rest in peace. So McLean gets to talking with the mayor, and she has little time for him, but seems to enjoy running him down, right? As she does. So she lets him stay in the office just so she can keep insulting him. But basically he gets out like, you know, there's this kid, he only has a matter of hours left to live. And you said this and that about the treatment. It's like, is there a treatment? Is it real? She's like, it's real, but
you know, it's there. But it's like, it's clear that the hang up is they're just too rude to let them in.
Right, yeah.
Like they think they can just walk right into our city.
They think they're big shots because they came up with the miracle cure.
Uh-huh.
And she's like, so I had Sitsek, stop them. And it's like, Sitsek? And we do learn it's a futuristic agency of city security. Sitsek, for sure.
Yeah. McLean, everybody knows Sitsek.
Right, yeah, it goes without saying. Yeah. She basically shows him on the map where the standoff is happening. These scientist nerds who came up with this miracle cure and the Sitsek agents who are not letting them in. They're having like a rude standoff. But now McLean knows where it is, but it's like he would have to actually leave the city, which is quite difficult.
Right.
You know, because you have to pass by the Sitsek agents.
Right.
In fact, he's never left the city. Most of these people have never left the city. Right. That's like we learned in the early scene. He's always dreamed of like what's the rural part of the country like, but
they know nothing about life outside New York.
Right, because you basically can't leave because the agents are too rude.
Right.
He says, could you please help me? I just have to save this one. I wouldn't even have to take the whole case or whatever, just one dose, like to save this little boy. She's like, I don't give a good goddamn what you do. Have you never even heard of the magnificent subway token? And he's like, I thought that was only a rumor. That's because you have the brain of a pigeon. And she like shows him like, I sell them right here. She has like a case of these like solid gold subway tokens that good for a round trip. You can leave this. It's kind of like the letters of transit from Casablanca. It's the one thing, no questions asked. You can just get out and come back. Or it's good for one round trip. But it costs a fortune. And he's like, this is going to clean him out.
Everything he has.
Should I do it for this woman I just met, but she's Jessica Lange, but she is the kindest soul I've ever encountered. And she made me feel good about myself. So he's like, I'll do it. Her clerk comes in to sell him and he runs his debit card. And the guy's like, I don't think this is going to go through. And he's like, can you run it again? And the guy's like, yeah, I'll run it again. And he goes, whoosh. And he like slides the card right up McLean Stevenson's ass crack. and it's like, that's not... It's not rude. It's like really weird.
It's very weird.
But he's just like, gotcha. It went through the first time, and he does give him the golden ticket. Golden token. And McLean swings by Jessica Lange's place and tells her, I took every cent I had, but I got the golden token, and I can get him the vaccine or a treatment or whatever the hell it is. Just like,
I knew we needed a miracle. You were that miracle.
Gets him right in the heart. And they embrace. She says, we'll be waiting for you.
We'll be right here.
And he goes, takes the subway, and there's more and more rude people, obviously, like jostling around on the subway. There's someone with a big boom box, like in Star Trek 4. They get to the moment, gets off the train, and there's like a one gate. This is the only way in or out of the city. There's people like screaming, jostling each other on both sides. The Sitsek people are there shoving everyone back, hitting them over the head with the sticks and stuff. But he like holds up his golden token, puts it through the turnstile reader, thing, and they have to let him right through. He gets out. It's an interesting part of the movie because it's just grime, grit, filth, people coughing, sneezing each other, screaming at each other, hitting each other. And he walks and it's like calm.
And it's like all that stuff slowly fades away as he's getting out of the tunnel. The noise grows quieter. The grime becomes less on the wall until the graffiti and the grime just sort of fades away into a cleaner surface.
And then he starts seeing trees and grass and stuff he's never seen before.
Right.
Like his fantasy brought to vivid life.
Right. Now, the idea is once he gets out there, he's going to make a beeline for the medicine convoy.
Right. And they're right there.
Right.
I mean, and they are like dweeb scientists with the big glasses.
Right, but they're having a big standoff with Sitsek.
It's like,
do you think you'd be able to develop a vaccine this sophisticated? I highly doubt it.
Big time nerds.
He walks up to where they have the vaccines and he stops in his tracks, looks at the case of the vaccines, looks out to the open fields.
Because here's the thing, and we might have glossed over this, but it's important. He's never going to get this chance again.
He cleaned out his whole account to get this one.
Right. He has nothing.
He had been
left.
saving up for 30 years.
He's just a meter butler. He is outside the fetid, rude city for the first and last time in his life.
It's really a moral choice he faces. Does he stay true to his word and get this treatment for this little boy? Or does he take this opportunity he's been dreaming of his whole life to live in the outside world?
But the problem is, here's the real problem. This movie was made in the 70s. It's a social issues, dystopian sci-fi movie.
Maybe it doesn't have the ending we want.
It does not.
We cut back to Jessica Lange's apartment. We see that little blood test thing ticking down. And it goes 3, 2, 1. And the little boy goes, it's too late. He died.
Yeah. She wails. The last thing we hear is her wailing. And
then someone is like hitting her wall. It's like, shut up in there. And then we cut back and we see McLean Stevenson, and he gets to like an idyllic small town.
He's on a bicycle. I don't know where he got the bicycle, but he's on a little bicycle.
Everyone in the town is like, hey, friend, you new around here? And kind of welcoming, and they're like, have a drink with us.
People are waving at him. People are smiling at him, just like in his dreams.
He takes a big sip of the ale and he says, well, I'll be damned. This is the best drink I've ever had. And the room goes cold. And they say, we don't take to that kind of language around here. And you quickly realize, oh, the world outside of the city may seem more polite, but they're actually worse people because they take him out to the barn and they tie him up. They strip him down naked. And you do get to see what McLean's working with, which I like that part of the movie. But they feed him to the hogs alive. And so like the hogs are like chomping out pieces of butter.
And then that's literally, you see the pen of pigs, and then the end comes up over it.
Yeah, it's harrowing.
Yeah.
It's a rude city, but there are worse places than a rude city.
There are worse places than a rude city.
Yeah, so what was more upsetting, getting attacked by the feral cats or watching Rude City?
At this point, I'm not feeling much below the knees.
Okay.
So I guess the movie was worse.
Oh, interesting.
I mean, because I'm pretty numb. I mean, it's starting to pus out, which is probably good, right?
That means your body's expelling the bad stuff.
Right. Okay, so I'll recover from that. I think the emotional wounds of watching Rude City and seeing Jessica Lange wail at the death of her kid.
All right, to end out the show, I'd like to do something it's called plugs and shout outs. So anything you want to promote, please do so. And anything you want to shout out, like celebrate, shine a light on, you can do that too. For example, for me, I noticed that this is your third time on the podcast. Mm-hmm. Thank you so much for coming back. You're one of my ultimate favorite people, not to mention guests. I noticed that both of the first 2 episodes we did were about bugs. The first one was Kill Swarm, about the killer bees. And the second one was Exterminator in Hell, about the exterminator who had to kill all the giant bugs.
Right.
So I thought for my shout out today, let's give a big shout out to the cool bugs. You know, most bugs are like yucky or scary, but there are certain bugs that are cool. And I want to give them a big shout out. You got butterfly, also caterpillar, the larval stage of a butterfly. You got ladybug, dragonfly, bee, and I'm also going to throw in the roly-poly guy.
Roly-polies, you kick over a rock.
Yeah,
you see some roly-polies.
They roll up in a little ball. I mean, they're a little yucky, but they're more funny. Right?
Yeah.
So I include that. Can you think? Are there any others, or is that kind of the main?
As far as good bugs, ladybugs.
Oh yeah, ladybugs. They're wonderful. Yeah. So shout out to the cool bugs. Sam, do you have anything you want to plug or shout out?
So many things in this world to promote. I would like to shout out Sunday traffic. You know, we just came through a Sunday over here, and that's the only day I would recommend driving through LA County is on Sunday. Mm-hmm. It turns from nightmare to a dream. You got here, you did well today. This is not even Sunday, and you did very well today.
Do you remember the parable of the little boy who had his balls in a vice?
I do not.
Oh, it hurt really, really bad the whole time his balls were in a vice. But as soon as he loosened it, he never felt better. And that's Sunday traffic, right? Because you're used to the balls in a vice situation of the week.
So the relief of that tension
almost makes it all worth it.
True. To know how bad it could be just makes the good case scenario all that much better.
That's right. Anything else?
Also got to plug the post office. I have a little got a little package. It was on its way here. Nothing important, but just a little tiny bric-a-brac. It was on its way here. And as soon as it got to LA, they sent it up to Portland.
Oh, interesting.
And now it's on its way back. Okay. I'm not sure when it's going to get here, probably soon. But just want to plug those guys for, giving the item I bought a little life experience before it gets to me.
I'd love a trip to Portland. You been up to Portland?
No.
Love Portland. Shout out Movie Madness, second best video store on the planet after Forgotten Video Store.
There we go. Do they have feral cats?
They don't, They don't have the cats. They don't have the grime. They don't have the VHS case where the tape is missing, but instead it's full of teeth.
Right.
That we've encountered.
The overwhelming urine smell.
Or the one tape that's locked up in chains with the note that says, "Do not rent this tape." I kind of want to rent that tape.
I really want to rent that tape. What do you think's on it?
Maybe it's a snuff film.
Ooh.
Maybe it's a The Ring style curse film.
Oh, a curse movie?
Yeah.
Something that was like etched onto tape.
Maybe we should do like a special episode and like rent
watch
that
the
tape.
forbidden tape.
Yeah, that'd be great.
I love
Something
it.
to look forward to.
Excellent.
Thanks so much, Sam. I always love spending time with you.
Thank you, David. It's been a blast.
Thanks so much for listening to this episode of Forgotten Video Store. I want to revisit the cool bugs thing really quickly. I think grasshoppers are in the conversation. Please share this podcast with those near and dear to you. And don't forget to follow the show on your podcast app, because next week I've got an author and cultural critic on the show to review a misbegotten legacy sequel to a 1990s children's classic. When it pops up in your podcast feed, you'll be saying, "Hello!" Forgotten Video Store is a slop-free zone. We never use any AI for any part of the production of this podcast, not even the hastily photoshopped episode art. The music in this episode is Funky Energy Loop and Urban Gauntlet by Kevin MacLeod, Incompetech.com, licensed under Creative Commons by Attribution 4.0 license. Okay, bye!